My name is Fernando, and I have a special gift. I speak to the dead. When I was a child, I heard a voice that warned me about an impending fire. That voice saved my life. Today, I use my gift to pass on messages for those left behind. Join me as I cross over the rainbow and connect with Spirit. Call me Ishmael. Don't worry, this isn't the beginning of a Herman Melville novel, but it is part of my story. Ishmael is the only thing I have of my father. I never had the opportunity to meet him. When I was 7 years old, I had a birthday party. My father was invited, and I was so excited and happy that I would finally be able to know this elusive person. I sat on some steps and waited patiently for him to arrive. Hours went by and the sun began to set on the horizon. My father never came. I know how much pain not knowing your father can bring you. It took me many years to heal from those wounds. In this next reading, my client is also on his own journey towards healing. As soon as I initiate the connection, people will step forward. If it is the person you would like to communicate with, then you're going to figure that out pretty quickly because the information is going to relate to them. My job is to listen and to share as much as I can that they are giving me. Sometimes spirits, if they don't have enough energy to come through by themselves, they will ask for help from their fellow spirits. If that happens, what tends to occur is two spirits will come in connected energetically to get through and to get loud enough for me. But when that happens, they do get through, but I also get two spirits connected to each other. So their stuff might start to get jumbled with each other. If that happens, just bear with me because I will try to figure it out and split them up energetically so that I can kind of give you enough validation from each individual and hopefully be able to make enough sense for you so that you know it is your loved ones trying to communicate. Okay. All right. So I believe I have two females so far. Um, I might have one male, but I'm not sure yet. But I definitely get the sense that there are two females in spirit. I also have a dog, so there's a dog in spirit as well. So, and this dog is, I think this is a darker colored dog because I'm seeing darker tones. I'm actually seeing my sister's black lab, so it would be a dog that would be darker in that way. So I've got a darker dog coming through as well. And they're kind of running around and jumping around, kind of trying to get my attention there. Okay, one of the females is going first, so she's going to want to step forward. I am seeing cancer spelled out, so there's a definite cancer connection or some sort of cancer tie into this individual. I'm smelling smoke. Do you know if this individual was a smoker or this female was a smoker?
Yes.
There's this smoking vibe or this smoking feel there.
Right.
So she's acknowledging that. She makes me feel like this was a tricky passing because there was either some confusion around what was going on exactly, or they didn't catch this in time and was caught a bit too late. So either she wasn't aware that this was as bad as it was, or she just wasn't aware that this was as serious as it had gotten. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. It got to the point where I couldn't do for myself, or I couldn't.
That's probably true.
Okay, because she's acknowledging this is not someone who is taken care of. This is someone who takes care of other people, and
Right.
she's not the kind of person to have to rely on anybody or have anybody do things for her. And the fact that she got to a place where she couldn't do for herself was definitely hard for her. It was difficult for her to go through this period. And so she's
Right.
acknowledging that this was tough for her. She's not used to people taking care of her. And she's acknowledging and this is the symbol for I was having trouble doing for myself, or I was having trouble keeping up with all the things that I'm used to doing. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, sometimes when people get sick or when they struggle with certain illnesses, at some point they can't do for themselves. But she makes me feel like this actually took hold earlier than she expected and that she wasn't prepared for that. And so yeah, because she says that this kind of lingered on and this dragged on for a little while, and that she wasn't happy about that, but it kind of dragged on in that way. She's also talking about the communication or the conversation around her care, complications around that.
My sister cared for her the evening that she went to the hospital because
Okay.
she wasn't feeling well.
Okay, so and this might be what she's talking about, because she's talking about either someone taking care of her or someone helping her and not going to the hospital right away. It's almost like trying to avoid having to go to the hospital because
She was
I
avoiding going to the
I would
hospital.
rather die at home than be
That's
at the
what she told my
hospital.
sister, and my
Good.
sister told her, if you want to die, then that's fine.
Okay,
But
because that's what
I'll
she's.
do what you want.
Yeah, because she's like she plays by her rules. She does things her own way, and she lives life by her rules. So she's acknowledging like she didn't want to die in a hospital. She would rather die at home, and she's
Mm-hmm.
acknowledging that. But I almost feel kind of pain and some struggle there, and this might have been the kicker, the thing that forced her to have to go to the hospital because it got too much, and she couldn't cope with it. She also keeps acknowledging her passing happening right around another significant date or birthday. So do you know if she passed around a date or a birthday?
Yes,
Okay.
both actually, Christmas and her birthday.
Wow. Okay. So she's acknowledging that as well. She's also thinking. Got it. She's showing me this white lily. It looks like a lily, and I feel like it's either a lily or there's someone by the name of Lily or Ellie or Elaine or Ellie, but she keeps referencing the double L like name. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm. Potentially.
She's repeating. I'm asking her for clarity. She's repeating it. Lolly, Lily, Lally. It's almost like she's repeating this, and it feels like a nickname. It doesn't feel like the full name. So this be like a nickname of some sort. Um, it's weird because I want to say Lily, but then I'm hearing Eleanor, and I'm putting them together. Is there an Elaine or an Eleanor or?
We have a cousin Eleanor that went by Ellie.
Oh, that's it. Okay, got it. That's it. She's also passed.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so she's wanting to reference the cousin, and she's wanting to reference who would be with her in spirit. So she's acknowledging that. Um, she's showing me playing cards. Do you know if she ever played cards or she ever played?
She did like to play solitaire.
Okay, because I'm like, what is she doing? Because she's playing with cards, so she's acknowledging that. Um, she's kind of a secretive person because she makes me feel like she didn't always disclose or say everything that was going on in her life, or she didn't always share all of her like life's details. So she's coming across in this very like, there were some things I didn't tell you about, or there's some things I didn't talk about, and she's acknowledging that. As she's saying that, she's referencing the relationship or the marriage or whatever happened. So do you know if there was like a separation or a disconnect or some sort of a split that happened with her relationship or with the marriage?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay, because she's acknowledging like some weird. It's almost like I didn't talk about this or I didn't mention a lot of this, and I kept this kind of hush hush or to myself, and there was some like mystery around that part of her life.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so she's acknowledging that. She's apologizing to you because she feels that maybe she should have been more forthcoming, or maybe she should have shared more. But it's almost as if her holding back or her not sharing, she felt she was protecting, or it was just easier for people to deal with than if they knew the truth or they knew the entire story. Okay,
Yep.
so she wants to apologize to you for that. She's also doing this. Do you know if your father's passed?
My biological father has not passed.
Okay, because she's referencing a male figure, father figure in spirit. She's doing this like either they met up or they were able to reconnect. Okay, so do you have a father figure in spirit?
Oh, yes.
Okay, then that's what, because she's acknowledging meeting up or being able to reconnect and acknowledging this. She's also, yeah. She just showed me Bill Clinton's name. Is there a reference to Bill or Clinton?
Yes, Bill.
Who's Bill?
My biological father.
Oh, got it. Okay. So what's happening is I think she's trying to give me some of the specifics or details around that entire situation, and she's referencing the names. Again, she's coming back and saying, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. And she's almost acknowledging that she should have been more forthcoming because she says you deserve to know these things, and she wants to reiterate that. Okay, she's acknowledging 3 children. Now, what's interesting is I feel like 2 of the children would be living, but 1 would be deceased. So she's acknowledging 3 children. Do you know if there was a child that was miscarried, lost, or terminated?
Yes.
Okay, so she's acknowledged. Got it, because she's acknowledging 1 of the children. You have 2 children.
I have 2 children.
Okay. So she's talking about the 2 that were here, and then the one that was lost. She's got this child's energy with her, so she's wanting to acknowledge this child's energy or their soul with her in spirit. She wants to thank your sister for the amount of patience your sister had with her. So she's acknowledging your sister and having the patience that she had, which is funny because if you ask your sister, I don't think your sister thought she had patience at all. But she's acknowledging and she wants to thank her for the patience she had with her. Because your mom was... Is this his mom? Because I'm seeing MOM. Okay,
Yeah.
because I'm seeing MOM. So stubborn. Mom's stubborn. So she's acknowledging that. It's going to sound odd. I don't know if she's talking about Colorado or Canada. Do you know if there's a Colorado or Canada connection to Mom?
She is from the UP of Michigan, which is almost the Canadian border.
Okay, because she's like, I'm almost hearing Canadian talk. I'm almost hearing the language. So I'm like, what's going on here? So I'm hearing
So
some
that's
of.
the UP of Michigan,
Oh,
yes.
got it. Okay, because I'm hearing some of that. So she's referencing some of the connection there as well. Okay, she loves you. She wants you to know that she loves you. It's weird because I feel love for mom, but it's not like she was always very vocal. So I don't know if she didn't really say that very often, or she just wasn't that kind of touchy feely kind of person. But she's just wanting to express her love for you and let you know, like, don't question, I love you, and wanting you to know that. She also says you are a good father, and she says she owes you that. So she's acknowledging that you are a good father and wanting to reference that for you. Um, she's shown me, it's interesting because she's shown me, I don't know if this is like a soccer ball, or some sort of like a ball that I'm like kicking out in the field, but she's showing this like this ball thing. um do you ever play like soccer or play that kind of sport with your kids?
Sure, every dad does, yeah.
Okay. But this would be like soccer.
Both of my kids played soccer.
Okay.
So, I mean, I was a coach for one of my kids' soccer teams once.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, so she might be referring to that, or she might actually be acknowledging a picture that she's acknowledging of the proudness, because it's almost like it's a reflection of the proudness in that way.
Okay.
Because I'm not just seeing you playing with your kids, I'm seeing you out there like really playing with them. So it's almost a feeling of that. Okay, she's just repeating it. She says, "I love you." Just remember that. Know that I love you, and she's wanting you to know that. Okay, they're pulling back.
Like you said, she was a private person, or, we all have, everybody's got a story, right?
Right.
So, my paternity's always been a question in our family, I guess. It's more important to some people than others. There's always been a question of it. I mean, for what it's worth, I kind of always knew who my biological dad was, but it was never something that we spoke of. Strangely, even on her deathbed, I told her, I'd asked her about it, and she still denied it. After she passed, I took a 23andMe test and figured out who that it actually
Wow.
was.
Yeah.
And I was right, and it actually divides some of my siblings in the family, which is kind of ridiculous to me because
Yeah.
we were all raised together into the same house, and so it really doesn't matter if you're half sibling or not. But it's a pretty big divide. It's interesting that she would bring that up because obviously it's something that I know about and have proof of at this point.
Right.
I like that she thanked my sister because my sister had done a lot for her, and it was hard for her in passing because she had done so much for her.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that she acknowledged that. Thanks, Ferny. Have a great one.
You too, sweetheart. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. She's wearing a scarf, or she's showing me something worn around her. Do you have a picture of her? Do you know if there's a picture of her where she's wearing a scarf or she's got something wrapped around her?